completely fake.
Yeah, we're not. This is not real right now, but we're here.
No,
we're doing this, so it's happening.
This is what's happening is real, but we're not.
But we're not. This is a fake recording right here. This is not real.
Yep.
We're just making sure you can hear us.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? I hope you can.
I know you guys can't see us, but can you hear us? Like really, really hear us?
Like, do you hear us? Like, does it touch you?
Do you feel us?
do you feel us, or just let us know?
Does it like shiver down your spine and just kind of give you like that cold chill? Like,
communicate. We gotta know this.
Is there a tingly sensation going through your body?
We gotta make sure we're being felt. If not, if not.
Our mission is to fill you up with our voices.
You got ear holes are being filled.
We're gonna penetrate that body in your ears with our voice.
With our voice. It's gonna be our voice. It's not anything else. I think I can. No, you can. Just for longevity, I guess.
Alright, intro. So, just welcome everyone. We don't have a specific name for our podcast at the moment. It's just we're just talking. We're gonna discuss a few topics and either just agree on them or just debate them.
Right. You have an opinion. I have an opinion. We're gonna speak our minds and go from there. Going from there.
Yeah, we're gonna go from there. And so I guess the one thing that we can talk about. So the Super Bowl just ended,
right?
And Tom Brady got to his 10th Super Bowl. 7 wins though, but this is 7 out of 10. And there's this whole discussion about who is the better athlete.
Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT in this generation right now? Is it Tom Brady or is it LeBron James? And I gotta go with Tom Brady.
I gotta go with LeBron.
Why? Why LeBron?
For now, as where we are in life, presently, 2021, it gotta be LeBron. He's been pushing it for 18 seasons. Been in the league since he was 18. I can't say he has enough finals appearances to beat out the Super Bowl appearances that Tom Brady has, but I can say as far as a whole team goes, a whole one person pushing an entire team, LeBron does more than Tom Brady does.
But we also got to look with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's ability to pick apart a defense is very, let's just say that talent that he has is very underrated. I think as far as a mental game goes, Tom Brady definitely has he gives more of an impact to a team versus LeBron, because in my opinion, LeBron will physically dominate you.
Right.
But he's not about anything he's not psychological. He's not Kobe Bryant trying to get in your head,
That's true.
So
he's definitely not. He doesn't have that. I don't think he has that killer instinct. He kind of does. He is dunking on people at all times. He has like that psychological advantage over you because at all times you're intimidated by him unless you're someone like Joel Embiid. But Joel Embiid kind of just got tossed by LeBron the other day. He went up for a dunk, a weird post-move dunk over LeBron, and LeBron just gave him a shiv midair, and Joel Embiid fell around his ass. So, I mean, stuff like that, you don't really have an advantage over him in that sense. Like, Tom Brady in the league, he has a psychological advantage over you because he could pick you apart or destroy your entire defensive scheme. I understand that, but he's not physically going over you and running your shit over. Like,
what do you mean not physically? Like, he's physically throwing the ball over defenders' heads, and he's got that accuracy to where he's so comfortable enough to lob a pass, and you got someone like Chris Evans.
Mike Evans.
Wow. Hey everyone. I just said Chris Evans. Can we just forget that I just said that?
Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America is a wide receiver for the Tampa Bay
He
Buccaneers.
just got his first ring, you know what I'm saying?
Mike Evans. I apologize. Mike Evans. He can throw it down to Mike Evans. He's got Goodwin. He's got Gronk. He's got a lot of weapons, just like he was in New England when he had back in the days when he had Wes Welker and Randy Moss.
And he was consistently picking apart defenses with that scheme around him. But
yes,
LeBron.
Yes, but in the game of football, yes, it's a very physical sport.
True.
But the overall game is 100% mental. You need to. That's why coaches in the NFL they already have a scripted. They already have games scripted.
Scheme wise, every quarter they have a specific game plan for that quarter, or they'll switch it up based on what they see.
Or they'll have certain plays that they run through the first quarter or the second half. Just things like that. So yeah, people have to be physical, but the game to its core is all mental.
It's all mental, and
you can say the same thing with basketball.
Basketball definitely has the same type of setup. Coaches are definitely setting up their game plan based around what they see on the court, or even beforehand based on players like Stephen Curry shooting from distance. Like, you have to game plan around stuff like that so that the defender is literally watching that kid the entire game. No matter where he is on the floor, you gotta watch him. And kind of the same thing happens with Tom Brady when it comes to football, because no matter what's going on, if Tom's on the field, you gotta watch him, or watch what he's able to do, specifically throw the football.
Yeah, and he's always been given a line, an offensive line, to where he can sit and then even throw the ball real quick, get it out of his hands as soon as possible. Because he's also been given the weapons, the receivers, the slots, the tight ends to go out and be able to make those quick passes, because that's how they move down the field.
Right, that's how they get from end zone to end zone in 20 seconds or whatever. They're able to get talents around them and push the entire freaking organization forward in one season. Because last year, they get like 7 wins last year? Definitely not a playoff berth last year for the Buccaneers, but all of a sudden they're Super Bowl champions.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere. You can kind of say the same thing with LeBron, but at the same time, not really.
Yeah, because exactly. So, you see where, that contradicts itself, because LeBron went to the Lakers and was given the same team with new players, too, mind you that, with let's just say we'll just say very decent to mediocre draft picks.
Okay.
Lonzo Ball, but
for the time where they were there, they were definitely
not well established.
C+ type players.
Yeah.
LeBron's an A+ type player coming in there, and they had a D+, C- type season that first season when they did not make the playoffs. He was hurt, but no playoff berth for the Lakers for the first year that LeBron is in there.
Right, but he was also able to bring in other players too.
True. Him same way Tom Brady did, honestly. They got stacked almost immediately. As soon as Tom Brady got to Tampa was a Super Bowl
yeah,
contender.
Exactly. Their second Super Bowl in franchise history.
Literally, I think their first one, they didn't even have an offense. Their first time they won so many years back, 2002, I want to say, 2004, whenever it was, that team was pushed forward by their defense, not their offense. This time it was pushed forward by their offense and then backed up by an amazing defensive line, specifically destroying the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It was a sight to see, honestly. I thought it was going to be a way better game. I think my prediction was 38.
Hats off to the kicker for the Chiefs. Only one to produce points.
He did his thing. He did his thing. Everybody else was dropping passes. Mahomes, MVP of the organization for the next 4-5 years, regardless of what happens. He already got them a ring. So the way I see it, he's basically switching spots with Tom Brady as far as pushing the league forward offensively from the quarterback position. Maybe Lamar Jackson has a say in that, maybe. I don't think so, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks who can do the things Patrick Mahomes does when it comes to whipping the ball across the field like a baseball, literally like a baseball.
Oh yeah, his pass when he was already like halfway, halfway towards the ground on the field, and he was still able to get it out to his running back in the end zone, dead center in his helmet.
Dead center in the helmet, literally. If
and
the helmet wasn't there, him
parallel
right
to
the
the ground,
like
throwing the ball at least 30
yards? 30 yards,
exactly,
literally, almost 30 yards. It was fourth and 19, and it hit him in the face mask, about 2 yards ahead of the first down marker. So that's at least 21 yards from the line of scrimmage. And then he was already sprinting around the field, running from people. So he ran 20 yards before the pass even left his hand. Before the ball even left his hand, he already had ran 20 yards. It's insane to think that.
Yeah,
athletically.
The rushes on Mahomes was it was in double digits. I can't remember the exact number, but it went into the double digits compared to the Bucs.
Digits.
Triple digits?
Triple digits how many yards he had to run from line of scrimmage.
I mean as far as pass rushers being able to rush him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was past 10. I know it was in the double digits. Somewhere below 20, but maybe a little bit close, between 20 and 15. That's how many times he was rushed.
Yeah, right.
While trying to pass. And he had almost close to 30 attempts of passing.
Yeah, he was in there.
So more than half he's leaving the pocket.
Trying to make something happen or escape sacks. At all times, he was trying to escape sacks, the entire game, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he couldn't really get the ball moving. He couldn't get it in the end zone, specifically. Obviously, that's why the kicker's over here being the offensive player of the game. But it's all defense. It's none of it's... Okay, some of it's offense from the drop passes, but...
Oh, yeah.
Most of it's defensive side, making plays, showing that they really deserve to be champions. Specifically, Devin White, number 45. If you don't know who Devin White is by now, you really should look him up. See some highlights. The man's a monster on the field. Just zipping all over the place, faster than most running backs. Honestly,
jeez,
the guy is amazing. But anyway, back to the actual conversation.
Yeah, the LeBron and the Tom Brady
debate.
Yep.
All right. I'm still gonna have to go for LeBron. There's no way I can switch sides there.
See, I don't.
I've been with LeBron since day one. Gotta be LeBron.
I'm not taking away the fact that he has less finals in comparison to the Super Bowl.
Right.
He does have less. He does have a lower percentage than LeBron, than Tom Brady.
Right.
But the one thing that definitely brings him into just GOAT conversation worthy in any general sense of the word, especially with basketball, just because he was able to take 3 separate teams to an NBA championship.
I don't know anyone who did that. I'm not gonna brag, but I have a pretty vast knowledge of NBA history. I don't know many players who can take 3 different teams to the finals and pretty much win with all 3 teams. No way.
He left his home team, his original team,
after getting destroyed in the finals
always losing in the playoffs.
Right.
Always
folding. At least 7 seasons in Cleveland and not getting a ring out of any one of them.
Was able to leave, win 2 championships back to back, then only to go back to his home team, give them a championship.
I'm pretty sure they lost that year after that. That's when my knowledge gets a little foggy. They played the Warriors back to back. I want to say 3 seasons.
Times.
And Kyrie and him won one of those seasons together. Kyrie, Irving, LeBron James, Kevin Love. They got 1 together, I want to say. If they got 2, then that means LeBron has 5 championships, and that's not true. He only has 4.
4, yeah.
He only has 4. So he got
2
one
with
with
the Heat,
Cleveland,
1 with the Cavs.
2 with the Miami Heat, and 1 with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So far. Because there's nothing stopping him from
at
being
least,
number 5 right now.
I at least see 2 out of 4. Maybe if they don't even make it all the way this year, they could still. I think they're still going to be strong enough to add
more players.
Yeah.
During the offseason, this offseason, 2020, 2021 offseason.
Get them a good bench too. That
Even
way.
better than they are right now.
Because that was the whole issue with LeBron playing a super team. It's because the second their bench came in,
right.
LeBron had to put in those extra minutes just to even keep up with the bench and then also the starters.
Right. He pretty much had to take over the offensive side of the ball when it came to the bench. There was no actual scorers coming off the bench.
And that was the scariest thing about Golden State, because every other team has their starting 5 that are good. I mean, some teams
decent at least.
At least halfway decent, at least more than decent, more than average at least. But their bench, and it depends on the team. Like, their bench can really lack any good players that can get their own buckets.
Right, like go out there and just score, take over the game.
Most teams lack that, and then with Golden State, what made that so scary is because they were able to have a bench that could literally match someone else's starting 5.
Right, yeah, their bench was just coming in playing like veterans who really wanted their ring, and they found their opportunity, kind of exactly like Rajon Rondo and Dwight Howard last year. They found their spot. Even JaVale McGee, he was there for the Lakers last year as well.
For the 2 seasons that since LeBron has been there.
got there, yeah, he was kind of ring chasing a little bit. But I mean, if you get in that opportunity, you better take it, and he did. He played his ass off, got his ring, and now he's getting ejected in Cleveland. They just played the Phoenix Suns the other day, and he got ejected for. Honestly, it didn't look like he did anything, and I don't know what the NBA refs are doing nowadays. Honestly, they're ejecting people for absolutely no reason. It's getting ridiculous. Honestly, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some players don't deserve this. NFL is doing the same thing though.
So yeah, I was just gonna say, some might argue because of the whole Super Bowl, like 8 penalties. I think it was 7 for 80 yards, just before the half ended. Right. that they given over to the Bucks.
To the Buccaneers, it's like
they ran. Basically, one of their touchdowns were all the flags that were given.
Basically,
yeah. I think that was bullshit. The one with Mike Evans. Doing the
little slant through
seam.
the middle.
No, the one going on the left side of the on the field, the little seam.
Oh, the one that went for 80 yards.
Yeah.
The penalty that took him 80 yards down the field. Oh my gosh, that gave them the entire their 3rd touchdown. I want to say that was their 3rd touchdown they got off that penalty after halftime. What was it, 14-6 at halftime? No, it was. I think it was supposed to be 14-6 at halftime.
I think it was 21 to. I think it was 21-6 by that point, or 26 to 9. Like, they already had their 9 points. No, I think it was 6.
I feel like they got their 3rd.
They had their 3rd touchdown because in the 3rd quarter they scored their last touchdown and field goal. And then they didn't score in the 4th quarter.
And then the game was over, right. So it was 21-9 at halftime. Mm-hmm. Either it was 21-9 or 21-6. Either way, were already... The game was pretty much over at halftime, and it was mostly due to those penalties. If they didn't have those 3 penalties, then the game would at least lasted longer, mentally. Those players from the Chiefs side were out of it by the 3rd quarter. They didn't want to be there. The game was over with by the 3rd.
Yeah, you even see Tyrod Matthew just... He's just chucking his hands up.
What can I do?
Exactly.
What can I do kind of attitude. And then by that time...
Once you see your players see that, or once you see your
captain...
Yeah, once you see your captain... if you're someone who's on the defense and you see your captain do that, it's pretty much over. Mentally, because now your captain is done.
Yeah, your morale's out of there. If you're not behind your captain and the captain's out of it, what do you have? what do you actually
Yeah,
have?
exactly.
You don't
You get
really
blown
have much.
coverages and
You can do
mainly
your
blown
best,
coverages
and-
because it was really bad. Because
some of the defensive interference or pass interference calls on the defense were kind of iffy. Some of the holdings were iffy, but those penalties cost them the entire game pretty much.
yeah, I think it just gave them yards. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game. Maybe they would have scored one less touchdown and one more field goal. But if they play at the end of the day, those two penalties does
points,
exactly. It's like it's the same argument with the Saints and the Vikings call.
That in the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think Xavier Rhodes running into Michael Thomas.
I'm thinking of Stephon Diggs. It must be
not making the catch, behind the two
oh
corners.
yeah, right. That's what I'm
The
thinking
collision, the pass interference call that should have been.
Yeah.
That should have been called a pass interference, but then you were given another opportunity
to make the play, they still didn't need
that's just the life of being in the middle of a game. You take what's given.
Yeah.
Because once you start complaining about
the last play, what happened before, you get off focus and you just lose your mental focus on the game, your concentration. You gotta keep it at all times. If not, then you're off track. You're not moving forward. You're moving backwards.
Fuck, I don't even know how to end this. Thanks for listening to anyone who listened.
We appreciate you. Check out our Twitter.
Check out my OnlyFans. My Pornhub.
I got a Depop account if you want to check it out.
I have a Fortnite account too. You already know what's up. I be playing Fortnite. I floss on everyone. It's about it. Me and Ninja, we sleep together every day.
I never play Fortnite. I don't know any of these terms. No idea what he's talking about. But if you want to get into 2K, holla at your boy.
All right, peace out, guys.